Magandang hapon po, Magandang hapon po sa inyong lahat. Ako po si Carol Ojeda-Kimbrough, and I'm here to represent the family, friends, and mga kasama ni Rolando Federis. Isa sa tatlong student and community activists who were killed in the 1970s and whose names will be included in the wall of remembrance ngayong hapon. These three young men were just starting to make their mark on the world when their lives were cut short by the military regime under Marcos. We will never know what they could have accomplished had they lived to reach their full potentials. Ruben Lunas was an electrical engineering student, while Marsman, Alvarez, and Rolando Federis were studying business administration. Today, as they join the 193 names in the Wall of Remembrance, their families, friends, and comrades can finally say that our journey to seek justice and recognition for our loved ones has reached its conclusion. Their names on the wall will tell the world who they were and what they did for love of country. But we are also reminded that as we celebrate this occasion today, there are still at least 9,000 or 10,000 other victims of this regime, and that these victims and their families are still seeking and waiting and advocating for their recognition and acknowledgement of their contributions. We know from our own experience that this is a long and arduous task, but what gives us hope is the Wall of Remembrance. Our guest speaker, the Honorable Rey Sarmiento, mentioned that the French Revolution inspired Andrés Bonifacio. Andrés Bonifacio inspired the activists of the 70s. The activists of the 70s should be inspiring today's young Filipinos. But we don't know their contributions because the truth has been buried by the Marcos regime, sometimes literally. This is why we are grateful to the Bantayog ng mga Bayani Foundation and its volunteer staff of researchers who have done a lot of the painstaking work of uncovering and exhuming these varied narratives and stories and truths. They have documented the narratives of the 207 names in the Wall of Remembrance, and they have reached over 45,000 people and visitors to the Bantayog Museum. But as I said, there are still the thousands of other cases that need to be documented. And when that is done, I imagine a wall surrounding the perimeters of this compound filled with the names of each and every one of these victims of the authoritarian regime of Ferdinand Marcos. Then no matter how hard the Marcoses tried to whitewash what happened in the 70s, those 10,000 names will drown the denials of the violence inflicted by the Marcos dictatorship on this country and on its people. The names and stories of the 10,000 will be seared into our collective memories and change how our history books are written. We need to continue to support the Bantayog, their efforts until we have accounted for all these heroes and martyrs, whether they are nameless or whether we know who they are. And they are heroes and martyrs, no longer victims. Maraming salamat po.